You're probably about to yawn. Not because you're tired. Not because you're bored. Not because you didn't sleep enough last night. Just because I said the word. Think about that for a second. A single word with no smell, no image, no physical trigger, just caused your body to prepare a reflex. That is not normal. And the science behind why it happens is far stranger than anything you've been told. By the end of this video, you'll know what a yawn is actually doing inside your brain, why it spreads between species like an invisible signal, and why the people you love make you yawn more than strangers ever will. This is why Decoded. Everything has a reason. Let's find it.
You've been yawning your entire life, thousands of times, and you've never once stopped to ask, why? Most people, if you ask them, will say the same thing. Low oxygen, tired body, open mouth, breathe. It sounds right. It feels right. The body needs more air, so it takes a big gulp. It's also completely wrong. In the 1980s, a researcher named Robert Provine decided to test this assumption directly. He had participants breathe air with carefully controlled levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide, the two gases everyone assumed were responsible for triggering yawns. He increased the oxygen, he increased the carbon dioxide, he watched, he measured, he waited. The result? Nothing changed. People yawned exactly the same amount, regardless of what gases they were breathing. The oxygen theory, the explanation every person on Earth grows up believing, had no scientific support at all. So if yawning isn't about oxygen, what is it actually about? The leading theory today points somewhere most people would never expect: temperature. Researchers at the University of Vienna ran a series of experiments, placing either warm or cool packs on the foreheads of their participants. When the pack was warm, yawning increased significantly. When the pack was cool, yawning dropped. They also found that people yawn more frequently in cooler outdoor environments than in warm ones. Here is why that matters. Your brain is the single most energy-demanding organ in your entire body. It runs continuously, processing, calculating, regulating, remembering every second of every day, including while you sleep. All of that activity generates heat. And like any high-performance system pushed to its limits, your brain needs a way to cool down. A deep yawn, that slow, wide, full-body stretch of the jaw, draws a rush of cooler outside air up toward the base of the brain. It expands the blood vessels, it increases blood flow, and it drops the brain's temperature by a fraction of a degree. In that fraction, something resets. Your brain isn't signaling that you're bored. It isn't asking for more air. It is running an internal cooling system, and a yawn is the mechanism. Your yawn might literally be your brain performing emergency maintenance on itself. But here's the part that makes this story genuinely fascinating. If yawning is a private biological cooling function, why does it spread? Watch someone yawn, and you yawn. Read about yawning, and you yawn. Think about yawning, and it comes. This is one of the most reliable reflexes in human behavior. And for years, scientists assumed it was just a quirk, a social habit, a mimicry response. Then the research went deeper, and everything changed. Contagious yawning doesn't just happen between humans. Dogs catch yawns from their owners. Chimpanzees catch yawns from watching other chimpanzees. Wolves synchronize yawns across an entire pack, even when the animals aren't in physical contact. It crosses species, which means whatever is driving contagious yawning is not a learned social behavior. It is something much older and much deeper. In 2007, researchers at the University of Connecticut studied children between the ages of 2 and 4. They found that children who experienced challenges with empathy and social mirroring, the ability to sense and reflect what others are feeling, we're significantly less likely to catch a yawn from someone else.
That single result changed the entire scientific conversation. Contagious yawning is not about tiredness. It is not about oxygen or temperature or brain cooling. It appears to be a direct expression of empathy. The same neural wiring that makes you wince when you watch someone get hurt, the same wiring that shifts your mood when you walk into a room full of anxious people, the same wiring that makes you smile back at a stranger who smiles at you first. Inside your brain is a network called mirror neurons. When you observe another person perform an action, any action, these neurons activate as though you were performing it yourself. You watch someone reach for a cup, your motor neurons for reaching fire. You watch someone yawn, your body prepares to yawn. You're not just observing another person. You are, at a neurological level, becoming them for a moment.
You're echoing. And here is the detail that makes this personal. Researchers found that the strength of the contagious yawn response is directly linked to emotional closeness. The closer you are to someone, the stronger the mirror response. The more likely their yawn becomes your yawn. Studies confirm it. You are significantly more likely to catch a yawn from someone you love than from a stranger sitting across the room. A yawn traveling from one person to another is not a sign of boredom or disinterest. It is a signal of connection, one of the oldest signals the human brain knows. So old it predates language, so deep it crosses into other species. And yet, most people spend their whole lives thinking it means nothing. Here's where the science leaves us with one final, uncomfortable question. We now have two solid theories about yawning. The first, yawning cools the brain and resets neural performance. Both are well supported. Both make biological sense. But they don't fully fit together. If yawning is a private brain cooling mechanism, why would catching someone else's yawn cool your brain? Their brain overheated, not yours. And if contagious yawning is purely about empathy, why does the physical yawn itself, the open jaw, the deep inhale, still happen? Why not just a feeling of connection without the reflex? The honest answer is this. Scientists believe both explanations are true, operating through different pathways, possibly reinforcing each other. But the precise relationship between them is still being worked out. Your yawn is serving your brain and your social bond at the same time. A biological function and a human signal layered inside the same reflex. Something your body has been doing since before you were born. Because, yes, fetuses yawn in the womb, as early as 11 weeks. And something science is still not finished understanding.
The next time you yawn, or the next time someone beside you yawns, and you feel it coming before you can stop it, pause for just a second. Your brain might be cooling itself down, resetting something, running a process you'll never consciously notice. Or you might be mirroring the person next to you, echoing their inner state, feeling, without words, without effort, without choice, exactly what they feel. Both things could be true at once. Most of the body's most fascinating processes work that way, quietly, constantly, for reasons we're only beginning to understand. Everything has a reason, even the things that seem like nothing. If you're curious about how our world really works, subscribe to Why Decoded. Because everything has a reason. We just haven't decoded all of them yet.